information. While everybody's speaking, we'll bring that information to the screen so you can save it as well. Feel free to shoot us email later if you have any questions. Um, but let's get started, right? So the reason we're doing this is to bring awareness to the businesses in our community, right? The lifespan of a dollar in the Asian community is 28 days. In the Jewish community, the lifespan of the same dollar is 19 days. In the African American community, approximately 6 hours. So the money that we earn is not staying within our community. And that's the purpose of this event. And we're doing multiple things outside of this event that we love, for more people in our community to be a part of. We started a gentleman's study group where we try to meet on Fridays via Zoom and just have regular conversation. We share ideas, and the goal is to hold each other accountable. Divine has started a podcast along with Dr. Aaron Johnson and Dr. Kellen Scantleberry, where they're sharing different topics with perspective through the lens of Black men, right? So we're all about bringing awareness to our community and bettering ourselves. The first speaker we have today is my good friend, Sharon Townsend, one of Camden's finest, one of the stars of the Netflix special, Too Hot to Handle. If you haven't seen it, I recommend you checking it out. Sharon, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. How's everyone doing?
You gonna pull up your stuff?
So I wanted, Sharon, before while you start speaking, I want everybody, I recommend that if you can, you turn your Zoom option to speaker's view, just so while we share our screen, you can see the person that is speaking. Sharon, while you get started, I kind of want you to just, obviously introduce yourself, tell us some of the things that you're doing and what it is that you're here to speak about today.
Perfect. Thank you again for having me. My name is Sharon Townsend. I'm originally from Camden, New Jersey. Graduated from Franklin Marshall College with a degree in economics. Initially thought I was going to go to law school, but as Charles just mentioned, I was recently on a Netflix series, on the Netflix show, Too Hot to Handle. So I basically recently started my LLC, my business, which is called Triumph Through Tragedy. Triumph Through Tragedy is actually my business. It composes everything that I am. So I'm a motivational speaker. I'm a model and actor. And I am in the process of finishing my book, which is called Sharon Townsend Naked, Triumph Through Tragedy. I'm extremely passionate about the youth, kids. So my business is to basically, my goal is to reach out to the youth and let them know that no matter what it is in life that you wanted to do, if you can conceive it, you can achieve it. And I'm basically talking about growing up in Camden. And I'm breaking it down. Yes, the fame and the spotlight is fine, but there's a lot of things that come with it. There's a lot of things that behind the scenes that people don't know. So I'm talking about from as a kid, like being depressed, being suicidal, growing up in a household by a single parent, of a single mom who was raising 6 boys by herself. So I'm talking about all that stuff, man. And I think even more, even as a Black male, I think it's important that we talk about the things that we face. I think one of the things that I really want to preach to is that along this process, along my journey of becoming a model and actor, I allowed a lot of things, or I experienced a lot of things that I don't think I should, that I know I shouldn't have allowed. There was times where I was put in uncomfortable situations where, where I felt sexually, where I was sexually assaulted. And not that I allowed it, but it was one of those things. I put myself in a predicament because it was an opportunity. I felt like it was an opportunity for me to better my career. It was I don't know, man. So basically I'm just talking about the struggle, man. I'm like I said, right now I'm a teacher for children with autism. And I am a high school wrestling coach, but my passion is the youth. So my goal is just to give back to the community, give back to the youth, let them know that anything in life, whatever it is you want to be, you can achieve it with hard work, dedication, and perseverance.
Yep. That's great, Sharon. And, you know, from obviously knowing you, I just know that your story, your book is going to connect with so many people. You know, even of those that don't know you, your story is very relevant to a lot of children in our community. So I'm looking forward to it. I wish you the best of luck. And, you know, if there's any way that we can continue to support you, let us know.
Thank you so much.
So next up, we have Gabby Gibson, Devon, who are basketball coaches, trainers, very involved in the community, doing things with mental health. Gabby, are you there?
It's Devon.
Devon.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, it's just I'm an extension of Gabby. So, yeah. So yeah, a part of Gabby is here. Gabby's actually my wife. So we actually have a basketball.
All right. You're back.
Yeah. So yes, Gabby is my wife. So I'm her husband, Devon Paul, and we have a basketball training business together. A little background about us is my wife started playing basketball at a very young age from Copeg, born and raised in Copeg. So we felt like this was a great area for us to be able to give back to the youth. I've been a college basketball coach for years on the women's side. I started out coaching basketball at Kentucky State University, HBCU, where I actually went to school at for undergrad. So from there, I actually went to go be a video coordinator at the University of Louisville with Jeff Walls and that staff there. So I switched over to the women's side, coached there for 4 years. And then I went to go be an assistant coach at Marshall University. So me and my wife have a basketball training business called G3G Basketball Training. The website that's pulled up right now is our coach to coach consultant side. So we have a consultant side where we work with other college basketball coaches, high school basketball coaches to help them increase their performance with their student athletes. So our mission is to increase performance across the board, whether it's a student athlete or whether it's a coaching staff. And that's what we do. That's the better looking half right there is my wife, of course.
Thank you, Devon. Again, we appreciate everything that you're doing in the community. You know, me personally, with the basketball side, being a former athlete, I just know how great, you know, sports can be to provide a platform to life. There's no exact duplicate, but it's a great platform. Even to this day, I refer back to the things I learned through sports to help me persevere through life. So we appreciate you both. Thank you.
It's funny you brought that up because we have a digital course that we offer called the Athlete's Mindset. And we talk about basic life skills that you're able to learn from playing the sport of basketball. So we teach kids how to be coachable. What does it mean to be coachable? How can that help you be a more productive citizen? We talk about self-assessing, what it means to be able to look at your current situation and see where you are, where you want to be, and how to actually close the gap. We teach kids how to increase their performance, whether it's mentally and physically. We all know that mental health is very serious in the times that we live in. So we teach our kids to not only be strong physically, but mentally as well as spiritually.
Thank you, Devon. Next up, we have Monique.
Appreciate it.
How you doing, Monique?
Now,
let's unmute you. All right. Gotta unmute yourself.
gotta unmute yourself. There you
Okay,
go.
can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly. I just want to say that, you know, Monique was involved in real estate and she's going to tell us more about it. But I've had the luxury of dealing with Moniqua, and she's very educated, very, very patient, and very helpful. So it's an honor to have you, and I continue to appreciate all that you do for obviously me and our community.
I appreciate that, Charles. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. So while I pull up your LinkedIn page, you can go ahead and obviously introduce yourself to the people. Let us know what it is that you do specifically.
Okay. So hello, everyone. My name is Moniqua McCoy.
Sorry.
Hold on one second. We had another
Turn
computer.
on his.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, we have. It's a little bit of an echo.
Yes, because I'm close.
So Andre's on his computer. Keep going. I could still hear it.
If he
All
just
right.
needs it, we should be fine.
Yep.
Yeah, so my name is Moniqua McCoy. I'm a real estate broker, owner of Here to Serve Realty. I formed the corporation in 2014, but I've been in the business for 16 years. I'm also a WMBE certified, which means Women's Minority Business Enterprise. That means that I could do government contracts. And I do residential and commercial sales and rentals, as well as property management. I have 18 agents in my office. And my vision for Here to Serve Realty is to turn as many minority tenants into homeowners and/or investors as possible. So we love to educate and empower our clients. We have our own our own in-house credit specialist. And we negotiate short sales as well. I'm a licensed notary. We are basically a hub of information for our buyers from beginning to end. And we also have partnerships with other brokerages out of state, including New Jersey, Connecticut, Florida, North Carolina, and we offer relocation services. We focus on building lifelong relationships with our clients and turning them into family. So our number one source of leads pretty much comes from our returning clients and them referring us to their friends and family. The office is located at 185 Broadway, Amityville, right in the village next to Winnie's Soul Food. Most of you know where that is. And so overall goal of being an entrepreneur was pretty much to have my freedom, myself, not anyone's employee or have to clock in or be able to have to explain to a boss why I can't come in because my son is sick or whatever the case may be. So I honestly love that portion of it. I love doing what I do. I love helping other people, informing them is very empowering, and my glasses are foggy. So I couldn't pick a better career. Even if I was, a multimillionaire, I would still do real estate. I absolutely love it. And if anyone ever has any questions, I am available like 24/7. The website, okay, I don't think it's on there, but our website is heretoserverealty.com. The number 2 instead of the letter TO. And that's pretty much it, unless you have questions.
No question.
Thank you, Moniqua. So Moniqua was actually featured on our last event, People in Your Life, and she was pretty much a hit, right? She provided a lot of information. Real estate is very relevant to all of us. And as she mentioned, she has been extremely helpful. After that event, I had multiple questions for her myself, reached out to her, and each time she's always very helpful. And still an ongoing process, but like I said, she's very patient and very educational and very professional at what she does. So it's been a pleasure knowing Moniqua and continue working with her. So thank you.
Thank you. Same to you. Thank you.
Next up, we have Makai. Makai, let you introduce yourself. Makai Moore, great friend of Divine and great person. How you doing, Makai?
Take the share screen.
Hi, I'm good. How are you guys?
We're doing good. So tell us about yourself. What it is that you're doing. very interested to learn about more TV.
So, hi, my name is Micaiah Moore. I just recently graduated from LAU Post University with my degree in communications and major in broadcasting. And after I graduated college, I started to,
We're gonna know.
We lost you, Micaiah.
get into. Hello, can you guys hear me?
Now we can hear you.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'll
We
say it
lost you
again.
after your LA Post introduction.
Yes. So as I said before, I recently graduated from LAU Post with my degree in communications, majoring in broadcasting. And after I graduated college, I decided to help promote Black-owned businesses by giving them like a 5 to 10 minute, interview and video promotion to help get their business out there and help others across Long Island know about their business. So far, I've done one on Jackie's Jamaican Cafe. I've done one on a tax company. I've done one on, clothing line, just many various Black-owned businesses across Long Island.
Thank you, Micaiah.
Some birthday today.
First of all, happy birthday. Micaiah's on the
Thank
move.
you.
Is why we don't see her right now, but as we mentioned earlier, we're going to send out everybody's contact information. And obviously, all the panelists, based on what Micaiah said, I think it's a great idea if you all reach out to her as well.
Yes, I can. If you guys have a business that you want me to promote, just hit me up on my Instagram or email, which I'll send through the link. And listen, I got you. I'll give you an interview and do a whole video for it.
Tell her I want an interview.
So you heard Levon say
I want an interview.
Yes, I got you. Of course.
I want to second
That's
that.
easy.
Micaiah's done a lot of work with us in our basketball training business. Has been able to increase our sales. She's great at what she does, and I highly recommend her.
Thank you, Coach
Appreciate
DP.
that.
Thanks so much.
Next up, we have Andre Dante of Dreamo Painting. How you doing, Andre?
What's going on, man? How you doing, Cliff? Charles? Sorry.
It's funny because I first met Andre over Zoom, and it kind of made me realize that everything's the times that we're in, that when I finally see you in person, it was like, oh, wait, I know this guy.
Yeah.
Like, you meet somebody and then you see them on FaceTime or whatever. So it's reverse. But thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and your business. I'm going to pull up your contact information now for everybody.
Appreciate it. It's Dreamo Painting. We do from retail to commercial, also automobile painting. So any dents and scratches, any marks, or you just want to change the color of your car, we handle that. We also, interior, exterior. So anything you need, painted, covered, we handle it for you. It's a new company, it just came out. Me and my better half, we did it together. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's new and it's coming up,
Thank you, my man. And everybody, here you go. If you have any paint work that you need, definitely recommend reaching out. Great guy and great professional. Thanks for joining us.
Keep the line superb, man. So you ain't gonna have no mixing paint on your walls and that like
That's
that.
right.
Yeah.
That's
Keep
right.
those straight lines going.
Let's see how we doing.
I think we're good. Go right to the net.
Yeah.
Yeah. She got extra time too if she wants.
Perfect. So Danette, you actually have some extra time if you want. Let me start sharing my screen. How are you, Danette?
Hi, how are you?
Good. Now your salon is based out of Brooklyn, correct?
Yes, we're in Ocean Hill, Brooklyn, New York.
That's amazing. So tell us about yourself, how you got started, and about the salon.
Okay. So I myself actually have a background in fashion. I have like a 20-year career in fashion, in the fashion industry as a designer. And so I thought it would just make sense if I licensed myself to complete the look by adding on hair and makeup. So it was more strategically like a business move for me. I wasn't really as passionate about hair when I started, but going through the process, I was just like, oh, hey, I'm really good at this. And I think as Black women, we're not always ornately designed with hair in us, like we have to do it, but some of us are naturally better than others. And so I just kind of fell in love with it during the process. And so I have the opportunity to open a salon here in Brooklyn. Yep, so that's us. We're multicultural. We service all types of hair, naturally straight, naturally curly, but we are definitely unapologetically with our curly girls, with our natural curly girls and our Black women, because we are the most unsupported and disrespected population. So I have a soft spot in our heart for our curly girls. Yeah, so that's the salon there. We're 4 chairs. We also have added some things since that photo. So we now have nail service and pedicure service. And we also have lash and brow esthetician services as well. And the doorway that you see me standing in front of actually connects to our retail, which is the beauty supply, where we offer your main beauty supply items, as well as hair extensions and custom wigs.
That's amazing. Now, the beauty products that you sell, you said going past that doorway, are they a mixture of products? Like, are you the creator of any of those products?
I'm the creator of the silk accessories. So we sell silk bonnets and silk pillowcases, and now adding silk masks because of the pandemic. Silk is just the best fiber for your skin and your hair because it retains the natural moisture. So if you are sleeping on cotton, which most people do, it's really not healthy for you. And then especially our curly girls, naturally curly hair is dry to begin with. So if you have naturally curly hair and you're sleeping on cotton, it's just a bad combination. So we offer silk accessories in whatever color you'd like. Well, maybe not whatever color, but we have over 32 colors for you to choose from. And we can make it in whatever size you need. So if you wear locks or braids that are, extra long, like what I'm wearing, we can customize it to fit your style. So I'm the creator of that. But we also have natural products from Made with Love Oils, which is also a local vendor here from Brooklyn, and she hand makes everything for your hair and skin. So she uses a lot of shea and natural products to maintain your skin and its natural glow and your hair. And now we've recently introduced custom wigs by Leilani's Love, which is a color master. And so if you're looking for something creative and funky, she definitely has you. And if you want something more subtle, she's skilled at that as well. She's more versed. So we have a little something for everyone here.
Thank you, Danette. All I know is I'm definitely going to be reaching out. Right, so this hair, all my life I had a dark Caesar, and during quarantine I had to grow my hair, and my girlfriend loved it, and she was like, "Oh, you should keep it." I was like, "No. I'm cutting my hair. I'm like an old man. I'm stubborn. I don't want to change." But then now I love it, right? She got some sponge, and I'm doing all this. It's more work than I'm used to, but definitely gonna need some advice on how to maintain and make sure I'm taking care of my hair. Now that
Well, I'm glad you're open to it because we definitely are unisex. So some people, you know, they get it misconstrued, but unisex says it all. So we definitely service men, women, and children. If you have hair on your head or not, sometimes people just need a scalp massage to kind of stimulate the follicles. So we offer that as well. But I'm glad you're open to it. Actually, Divine had purchased one of our silk pillowcases.
I sure did, and I still use that silk pillowcase, and like my natural hair is looking real good. So
awesome. Yeah, one more thing I wanted to mention before you move on about our retail space is that the retail space is not just for us. The retail space is really to serve as a platform for other young entrepreneurs and other artists in the beauty industry that may not have the opportunity to get their items in a store like a Walmart or a Target. So we provide that space for them so that they can easily sell just to kind of get their brand going and started, or if it's already going and started, we're just another avenue for them. So that's one of the pillars of our missions, is to just help other people that look like us get along so that we can even the playing field.
Well, thank you. I do know, look good, feel good, and hairstyle is a big part of that. So we appreciate you being here.
thank you, Danette.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Yep. Go ahead and share the screen.
So next up, we have Justin Bailey. Justin is a good friend of mine, old teammate. Very hardworking, is serial entrepreneur. I had to tell him, look, Justin, let's narrow it down. Today, we don't have time to talk about one thing, but this man is doing a lot of things, and everything that he does is part of moving our community forward. So thanks for having us, Justin. You don't mind, just tell us a little bit about yourself, like where you're from. Give me a little bit of time to pull up your slides.
Okay, so first, thanks all for having me. I'm also new to having hair during quarantine, so I may need the services of the last person as well. Not how to style all of this, but as I said, I knew Charles for a long time. He's one of the hardest workers I know, so I don't know what he's talking about, but I'm from Queens, played basketball with Charles, and then just went through a lot of struggles in my life. So I have a few different businesses, but my latest venture is writing a book, which Charles is pulling up. So I'm gonna try to stall a little bit more to give him a little more time. Okay, so perfect. As I said, I have a lot of different business ventures. This is my latest one, 100 Days of Motivation, which is like a self-help book. Can you go to the next slide, please? A little bit about myself. I have a bachelor's degree from Farmingdale State College in computer science. I'm also pursuing my master's degree in Georgia Tech right now in more computer science. My current occupation is a software engineer. I also referee basketball and lacrosse. And my other businesses are Fit Corner and Breakfast Corner. Next slide, please. So the book itself. The purpose of this book was written to help change people's mindset to more positive view. With things such as the pandemic currently going on, a lot of people are down and depressed. So this book could be used to help raise the morale, basically. And I feel personally that starting each day with a positive quote, you should on the correct path to a positive outlook for the rest of your day. Because a lot of people wake up on the wrong side of the bed, and that affects the rest of their day. So I feel if you at least start with a positive mindset, that carry forth in everything you're doing for the rest of the day. So next slide, please. So the actual book structure. It's a short book, it's like 105 pages because of 100 quotes. But as I said, 100 quotes, Each quote is then followed by my interpretation of the quote, and each quote is from me. It's original quotes. It's not no famous authors or famous artists or rappers quotes. These are all my quotes. So after each quote is my interpretation of the quote, and then after reading each quote, the readers provided space, the lines provided to write down their interpretation of the quote. The purpose of writing down your thoughts are to give the reader the ability to track their progress throughout reading the whole book. So on day 5, you might be like, I saw this topic like this, but then day 57, you saw a similar topic and your whole mindset is different at that point. You can compare and contrast it and see your growth throughout the book. Next slide, please. So where to actually find the book? I currently have an ebook and paperback that's available on Amazon. You can go directly on Amazon to purchase it or go to my personal website, justinwbailey.com. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is just_Bailey. And thanks for having me, Charles.
No problem, Justin. Thanks for sharing. And I will say, just because I have a close relationship with Justin, and I've grown to understand that consistency is huge in any form of success. This man is always consistent and being positive, and he's always sharing that positivity with followers, his family, his friends, and he's always doing what he can to make sure that people uplift themselves, believe in themselves, and are confident enough to keep pushing forward. So I appreciate you, and our community appreciates you, Justin.
Coach, introduction.
Again, so we appreciate everybody being here. To reiterate, what was said in the beginning, for those of you that maybe are joining us a little later, we talked about how in the African American community compared to other communities, our dollar stays in our community a lot less time than anyone else, and that's a problem, right? So what we earn, we're not spending back in our community. So the objective here is to bring awareness to Black businesses that are obviously doing very well. They're going to continue to become even better, and we want to support each other. All right. We have to do more as a group, as a community, for our culture, and that's uplifting each other. Next up, we have is Dr. Johnson in the building. I've got to unmute him.
He's got 10 to 15 minutes.
Hey, good afternoon. Good afternoon. How you guys doing?
Man, how you doing? You have about
right.
10, 15 minutes. Dr. Johnson, every time this man speaks, my eyes get glued to the screen like this. So we're excited to have you. From the short amount of time that I've known you, I've learned a lot, and I continue to be motivated to do better, to do more, just from every conversation I have with you. So thanks for being here.
I appreciate it. I always try to tell I'm an educator, so I'll start off with that. And when I try to tell my students all the time, is I always try to let them know, conversations that you engage in, make sure that they're not useless. Make sure that you are offering something. Make sure if you're not giving game, if you're not giving something, don't waste your words. Don't be useless. And I think right now we're in this particular space where we all need to kind of sit back and think about how we engage the space. So let me just kind of give you a little breakdown of who I am. My name is Aaron. I was born Aaron Dominic Davis. I am a foster care child. I always say I'm a fortunate foster kid. Born to Merva Lane Davis and James Edward Davis in Georgia. That's where I started out, but my mom, mental issues, my dad didn't really care. And we ended up in foster care in the 1980s in New York, which was one of the most difficult places to be. Some of the most difficult circumstances to be a part of, and some of the different abuses and things that occurred in that time period with me and my siblings are things I wouldn't wish upon anyone else. And so that always kind of stayed in the back of my mind, that how feeling so unprotected and so alone and so angry kind of led me into my life's work. And as a young man, and when I was probably about 12 years old, I started thinking about how inequitable our society is. I started to think about the history that I was learning. I started to hear the Pledge of Allegiance and how it made no sense when it came to Black people. And that kind of led to my journey of really getting involved in history, getting involved in trying to understand the world that we live in a deeper way. And that led me to want to kind of choose certain career paths. At one point, I wanted to be an attorney. At another point, I wanted to be an educator. Those are the two jobs that I wanted. And I think I wanted to be an attorney, to be honest with you, because I was always in the courts. When you're in foster care and you're about to be, you're going through the adoption process, you're always going to court and testifying to your circumstance and to your situation. And so I always wanted to be an attorney and eventually a judge. But then I started thinking about impact and education. That was kind of like my lane. So I'll be quick with my education background. I have 5 alma maters. I graduated from Southern Connecticut State University with a degree in history. I graduated from the College of SUNY College of at Old Westbury with a degree in social studies and education. I graduated from Stony Brook, SUNY Stony Brook, with a master's degree, liberal studies and history. I graduated from the College of St. Rose with a postgraduate certificate for leadership, educational leadership and supervision, administration and supervision. And I graduated from St. John's University with my Doctor of Education, and basically supervision, organizational leadership, administration. And my focus was on implicit bias of education leaders and how that leads to the educational achievement gap between Black and white students in Long Island, New York schools. And you have to get real specific when you're, excuse me, when you're doing your doctorate. However, broadly, I studied systemic racism, implicit bias, explicit biases, organizational racism. And so that has been, history and sociology and how it impacts us has always been my passion. And then my wife kind of inspired me to really make a business out of it, because I used to always go to youth centers and churches and other situations to where I'm speaking to people about this thing, about equity for Black children, equity for brown children, in a real racist country that we live in. And my wife said, Aaron, people get paid to do this. This is a lot of work you put in. It's a lot of research you put in. It's a lot of planning you put in. So maybe, she really inspired me to get the Elevated Leadership Perspectives LLC, where we really offer consultation services, right? Implicit bias consults or training, explicit bias training. I do motivational speeches for children. My audiences ranges from students, high school age, preferably high school age students, all the way through graduate students and doctoral students. I also part-time guest lecture for a couple of my professors about equity in education. This is my life's work. It's my passion. Our children have routinely been taught to hate themselves. They have been routinely taught to praise whiteness. They have been routinely socially engineered in a system that is inequitable to them. And so I'm interested in making sure that our children's narratives matter, their voices matter, their experiences matter. I want to get rid of the concept of color blindness, because that completely invalidates the life struggle that our children are going through on a day-to-day basis. So that's my goal. My goal is to be on the ground floor of working for change, equitable change. We have lived in this country for 400 years, and we have had to consistently pick up the pieces of white American racism. We have always had to, I remember a few years back, there was a woman that went viral, and of course they take our people and, and the things that we say, and sometimes it's for a joke and it's for a laugh. Like I remember a woman, she was talking about how she had bronchitis and she didn't have time. Ain't nobody got time for that. That became like a big viral thing among the young people. And they kept saying, ain't nobody got time for that. And I was like, I heard that my whole life. I heard that my whole life through my mom and my grandmother who raised me, that, we don't have time to complain. we don't have time to try to figure it out. We have to go full tilt. We have to be better than everybody. We have to be twice as good to get half as much. And I'm really I'm looking at the way in which I was raised, and I'm like, do I want to raise my kids in a situation to where they have to struggle and work so hard just to be recognized in the same fashion that somebody else doesn't really have to work that hard? And their people have been here on average longer than everybody. So I'm like, I really want them to be empowered. So in my own personal life, I'm empowering my children to walk around with their shoulders back and their head up high and understand that their ancestors built this country and they deserve equity here. And so that's my passion, to really inspire, whether it be white institutions or Black institutions. We all skin folk and kinfolk. We have people who their proximity to whiteness and their proximity to white validation clouds their judgment, and it renders them unable to really be advocates for our children. So I'm an advocate for empathy institutionally. I'm an advocate for equity institutionally, true diversity, right? Inclusion, I say inclusion, but to be honest with you, historically, once Black people integrated with the wider white society, that's when we lost all sense of our collective economics. That's why our money doesn't turn over in our community, because we were so mentally ill and badly abused that we were begging white people to spend money with them in their establishments. Please let me eat with you. So I'll wrap this up by saying this: I will never disrespect my ancestors because they had a different form of exploitation and terrorism that they had to deal with. But we have to be on the cutting edge of moving our people forward equitably. And that's what my whole life's mission is, whether I'm in the classroom or in the high school or college level, or whether I'm consulting. And that's just me in a nutshell.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson.
No problem.
We appreciate you. Just one more thing. Tell me, how you feel. You guys are a couple episodes in, you, Kellen, Dr. Kellen, and Divine on the podcast Perspectives of Black Men. Tell me, how the show's been going and where you see it going in the future and what you love most.
Well, we're in a we're currently in a space. I love it. You know what I mean? Our perspectives and our narratives have been ignored for a long time, or we empower the famous among us, right? So the people who have access to a loud microphone and a loud platform aren't necessarily versed in the information that they need to be versed in order to make institutional change for us. So a lot of times, when you think about how the internet has democratized the media and democratized our ability to have multiple narratives out there, we're still in the dogfight to be heard, to be really heard. If you're not slick talking, if you don't have money, if you don't have influence, it becomes very difficult for your narrative and your voice to be amplified. So I think that our mission is to, we're gonna start this thing and just continue to grind away at it until eyes are paying attention. I think some people are kind of tuning in, and it's great, it's excellent. But the information that we're giving is so broad from different walks of life, different backgrounds, different experiences, different education levels, different interests, different focuses. So I think it really becomes important for us to continue to kind of kick. I think the experience is great. We're given these perspectives of Black men and we have this lived experience, right? Whenever we're talking about inequity and racism, I tend to not argue with people who don't experience it. I always ask them, because when we're given these perspectives, it's broad on the show, right? It's not just about that, but everything in America is about, class warfare and race warfare that has an intersection. So I tend to not argue with people about our experiences. I always let them know, if you're not an expert on the topic and you don't experience it, you're speaking from emotion and you're not speaking from facts. Therefore, our conversation won't be fruitful. If you're here willing to learn and listen, then we can move forward in this. So right now, I'm interested in just continuing the conversation and continuing to broaden our platform for the greater good of people getting this work. we need it. Our kids depend upon it.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. Next up, on right there, we have Dr. Kellen speak. I know I'm gonna share your video, but just to, piggyback off what Dr. Johnson said, let us know your thoughts about where the podcast is going, and the type of work you guys are doing there.
I just want to say what's up, everyone. Thank you guys for taking the time to be on this call today. Again, my name is Dr. Kellen Scantlebury. I'm hosting the podcast with Dr. Johnson and Divine. I love it. I love where we're at. We are about to be 8 episodes in, and for us to have the sort of traction in 8 episodes is amazing. The biggest thing I want us to do is, like any good offensive player, is just keep shooting. Like, I think that's just the key to the game for us, is just like keep putting up shots. And that's the only way you're going to make shots. That's the only way that you're going to become legendary. That's the only way that you're going to be able to leave your legacy. You don't leave a legacy by not taking any shots. So I think we're doing a phenomenal job with different topics. We cover fatherhood from the Black lens, the Black perspective. We covered investing from the Black lens, the Black perspective. We talked about being Black in corporate America. A lot of us here are business owners, so we know what that's like. We know how hard it is for us to get loans, how hard it is for us to differentiate ourselves, almost feeling like we have to be perfect in every sense of the word for people to want, our own people sometimes, to spend money with us. So I want to echo what Dr. Johnson said. Definitely, like, we need to be spending money in our own communities. But we also need to know that when we do spend our money in our community, that it is worth the investment. We have to trust one another so that when we spend that money, we know that we're going to get a solid grade A product. So I'm excited to learn about all these businesses here today, so that I can spend with you guys and vice versa, because I think that's going to be one of the ways in which we empower our own individual community. So I love the podcast. If you guys have a chance to listen, definitely check out Diverse Skill Training on YouTube, because all the episodes are up there. So yeah, very excited about the podcast and where we are in the live stream, where we are right now.
And I just want to piggyback on what you said, Kellen. I agree that the fact that we're all here, taking the time to learn about one another, it's really the only way we're going to grow, is by sharing knowledge. Never going to be an expert at anything, but the more we expand our network, we expand our community, the better off we're all going to be. Speaking of, right, I saw when you got on the call, it was all sweating. Tell us about mindset and movement. So those that will maybe wondering, well, what was this guy just doing?
Yeah, thank you for highlighting that. I'm sorry, I had no shirt on, sweat dripping over the face. Yeah, so it was basically every Saturday at 12:30, I started with a buddy of mine. It's basically like a power call and a workout called Movement and Mindset. When the quarantine started, I just wanted to figure out a way to give back. And then after everything happened with, Breonna Taylor and George Floyd, really felt like an awakening within my spirit, within my soul, to provide an outlet for men in the community, all types of men, Black men, Asian men, just like we don't have a lot of like men speaking, networking, like outlets. So Movement and Mindset is exactly that. Every Saturday at 12:30, we start with just like a mindset call. Today's theme was, figuring out who you are, like your personality, and being okay with that. A lot of times in our community, we feel less than because of who we are, whether that's being an introvert, whether that's being like Divine and Aaron, 6'7", 6'8", big Black dudes. Like, that comes across intimidating to some people. And, they might not feel like they can inherently be themselves in certain situations because of how other people may feel. They may feel intimidated, but that's not to Divine or Aaron's, like, that's not their fault. They need to inherently be who they are. So today's episode was, understanding who you are, and then making a proclamation. Like, my name is Kellen Scantlebury, and I want to never be ashamed of who I am, and I always want to be held accountable. So that's what we did today, and then we followed that out. Each segment is followed up with a 12 or 15 minute workout as well. So we're not just improving and flexing our mental muscles, but then we're also, pardon me, flexing these guys over here too, you know? So that's what we do every Saturday at 12:30. It's free, completely free. Would love to have, you know, a bunch of the brothers and sisters on here, honestly, to just get your perspectives and share with us as well, because it's really for the people. It's really for us to get better during this time, hit that reset button, so that we can come out of this way, 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 way stronger than we went in.
Thanks, Kellen. Now let's get specifically into Fit Club. I'm going to share this wonderful video. Give me one.
So just to give everyone a little, I guess, information about this is just a little like highlight video summarizing a bunch of the services that we provide at Fit Club.
Computer audio stuff.
This isn't just physical.
Do it again.
This isn't just physical therapy. This is the epitome of human performance.
We're trying to get some people to come on and show us that. All right. So let me know when you're ready.
I got to know at the end of that video, did you lose that race?
I think I came in tied for first. I think I might have pulled a hammy on that run. You know, I wasn't really warmed up.
That's great.
So, tell us more about Fit Club.
Thank you so much, guys, for sharing that video. So we are a physical therapy and sports performance company. What the idea behind Fit Club is to be able to bring expert level orthopedic care when it comes to physical therapy and combine that with sports performance training or personal training, and bringing and meeting those two, that bridge between health and fitness. When I started and I graduated from Stony Brook with my doctorate, there was really no physical therapy company that was also providing, you know, personal training or recovery or sports massage all under one roof. Typically, you would go to one facility for the physical therapy. You would go to another facility for the personal training, go to another facility for the recovery. And I just wanted to combine all those services under one roof. So people, especially people where time is money, didn't have to spend, you know, time going to the West Side and then going to the East Side and then going to Midtown. So we wanted to bring that all together. And that's what we really do really, really well at Fit Club. We specialize in helping patients with orthopedic issues, you know, herniated disc in your neck, herniated disc in your back, rotator cuff tears, ACL tears, ankle fractures. That's just some of the injuries that we help our patients and clients recover from. And we help them do that in a very safe, very airy and very fun environment. A lot of doctors' offices feel very clinical, and that can feel very closed off, and it doesn't feel like, you know, you have much room to grow, as opposed to going to a sports performance clinic where you might be post-op day one and you're in there working next to someone who is in there for personal training, and you see them busting their butt and really working to get to that next level. That's inspiring to people, as opposed to going to just some regular physical therapy office and seeing everyone in there who's hurt. You know, that's not inspiring. That's like, you know, what do I have to look forward to with regards to like my treatment and my care? So I really like to inspire my patients by having them work next to other people who might be, you know, 3 weeks, 12 weeks ahead of them, so that they can inherently see the level that they should and are going to be able to achieve and move forward. So we've been in operation in Manhattan for 3 years. June 1st was our 3rd year anniversary. That happened during COVID. Honestly, my wife had to remind me of it because I was just so deep in the trenches of, you know, making sure that the business was going to continue to thrive and do well. But yeah, we're celebrating our 3rd anniversary, which is amazing. Most businesses don't survive in the first 5 years, and we're really thriving in the midst of a pandemic. So I'm really excited about the opportunity for us. We have our Chelsea location, 27th Street between 6th and 7th Ave. We also have a Williamsburg location, that's 203 Berry Street in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. And it's to the point, and this is not to brag, I'm not a boastful or prideful person in any way, shape, or form. I'm a very humble person. But the steps, and really why I want to share this is because, and this goes back to speaking with Divine and Charles and even Jarrett, Reverend Jarrett, excuse me, throughout this quarantine, is we can look at this as the worst thing that ever happened, or we can look at this as an opportunity to get better, pivot, and change. And I was able to look at this as an opportunity, to the point where now in Williamsburg, I cannot fit any new patients onto our schedule. It is that packed. It is amazing. And I have to hire. I'm in the midst of hiring during a pandemic right now, as opposed to like laying people off to fit the need of these people. And I think that's a testament to my team and being great physical therapists and providing a great service, but also a testament to our resilience in a time of adversity. We didn't fold. We chose to keep shooting as opposed to holding the basketball and trying to like dribble out the clock. So that's a little bit about Fit Club. Again, we're helping people virtually right now. Zoom has changed the game. So I can help people in Long Island. I'm helping people in South Carolina. I'm helping people in California. I even have a patient that lives in Thailand who we work together on Zoom. It's a beautiful thing. So as a business owner, I want to challenge other business owners on here to continue to pivot, continue to change, because that's what we need to do to be successful. But I also want to share, you know, a little bit about my story during this quarantine and this pandemic, because it is possible and it is available. And a lot of times we just need to see other people doing it to know that we can also do it. So I wanted to be that testament to you guys. If anyone that you know can benefit from our services, whether it's physical therapy, personal training, recovery, we're doing it in person in Chelsea and in Williamsburg, and also virtually. It's as simple as an email to info@fitclubny.com. I will definitely put that into the chat for you guys. And I'm excited and looking forward to working with as many people that we can help as possible.
Thank you, Kellen. And as he mentioned, from my conversations with Kellen and why he's been huge in our study group, is he's always looking, right from the first thing he said, similar to basketball, it's always about scoring, right? Keep going, keep going. This guy's always optimistic and always looking for opportunity. And he's always challenging those around him to do that and to become better, which he continues to do. And it's very evident. So we thank you for pushing us and providing people with an outlet to better themselves. So we appreciate you, Kellen. Moving on to the next person. In a little bit of time that I've known Derek, he's had that same mindset, and it's why I've had it taken to him right away. he's had that mindset in his industry. What he does is he understands what needs to be done. He's always on the ground, putting in the work and being optimistic, just as Kellen is, in challenging himself and those that he works with to continue to be better. So, nevertheless, Derek, thanks for being with us. Tell us about yourselves and everything that you know. Let me unmute you. There we go.
Thanks, Charles. I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you just fine.
Okay, cool. Hello, everybody. Good morning, good evening. Nice meeting you guys. Thank you for allowing me to, I guess, discuss who I am on your platform. I really appreciate that. So pretty much, where do you want me to start? Like, there's so much stuff to talk about. I don't really know.
Tell us about Derek. I think your story is amazing about, how you got into the business, where you were first. I think, and I'll let you talk, but I think it took a lot of courage for you to do what you're doing now, and you're very great at your job, from what I know. So, but how you got there and what you continue to do is very important for everybody here.
So basically, you experienced it because you was a groomsman. Yeah, for a wedding that we just recently did. So I'll take you back. I started out as a correction officer. Did that for about 10 years. Rikers Island. I hated it. It was one of those things that I did because I needed financial security. I wanted, I grew up in the hood. So I grew up knowing that like I needed to have my shit right, because when my grandmother who raised me, like the first gentleman that when I chimed in, he said his grandmother raised him. She raised me. And she always told me, like, when I'm gone, you only got you. You know what I mean? So I knew that I needed to get a secure job, something that, when you grow up in certain places, there's only but so many jobs that everybody's doing around you, like post office, police officer, correction officer. It's all city jobs. It's all municipal jobs. And in your head, you're thinking like, yo, this is what I'm going to do for the next X amount of years. And I'll walk away with the retirement and I'll be set for life. That's what I thought. It wasn't something I wanted to do, but it was something that I was like, yo, this is job security. This is good. So I did it. And every day that I did it, I hated it. Every day I went to work and I said to myself, like, yo, what are you doing here? This is not even you. This is not even your, like, but you're here. I just didn't know when I was going to leave, and I didn't know how I was going to leave. And I kept praying to God, like, yo, God, deliver me from this place. I need to get out of here. Like, no matter how many times I was off, no matter how much I was able to finesse, getting vacations and leaving, it was never the same as, just never having to come back there. It's almost like doing a sentence, but you get to go home. So did that, and then like in my 10th year, I started working on the bow tie business probably in my 7th year while I was working. So while I was working, I started making bow ties. One day I just came to work and I was like, yo, I'm making these bow ties. What do you guys think? And I was asking my coworkers at first, what do you think? What do you think? And they would say, oh, that's nice. That's nice. And I just kept doing it every day. It was something I like to do. It felt like it was an outlet. It felt like, all right, maybe we could leave work for this one day. I don't know. Like, I think like that, like towards the future, I think like there's possibilities, like I didn't really grow up with a lot of opportunities, but I grew up with enough to have an imagination and have creativity. I feel like when you have less, your creativity is on fleek, as they say. So one year I was in Greece. My work was being featured on, I think it was like the VMAs or something like that. And at that moment I was like, yo, you got to make a move. Like, why don't we just quit our job? And it's like, quit your job. Like, nobody does that. But I didn't know that people don't do that. I just was doing it because I was like, yo, I think I could do this. I'm making money. It's a good look. I'm happy. Most important, happy. Because, a lot of times, am I still with y'all? You can hear me?
We hear you doing a great job. Keep on going, brother.
Okay, cool. So a lot of times we take these jobs and we think to ourselves like, all right, this is where I'm going to be. I'm going to set my life up this way. I'm going to retire this way. And we never want to take those chances because they're uncomfortable chances. They're uncomfortable spaces to be in. And as a Black person, it's like, do these things really happen for us, or they happen for people who have trust funds already set up, who have situations where they don't have to work? For us, like, it was unheard of for you to just walk away from a job and start a business, especially making bow ties, because it's such an intricate product. So I got back from Greece and I went to work and I quit. Like I went to go look at my pension, see, okay, can you survive? At this time I was 30, I was like 30, on a cuff between 30 and 31, somewhere over there. And I was like, yo, nah, like you got this. You've been running this business for X amount of years, you're making money, you're making a salary, you can take care of yourself, do it. And so I just dived right in, I quit. And then my real life happened. You know what I mean? It was a lot of highs, it was a lot of like editorial things, it was a lot of red carpets, it was a lot of that. And I was saying to myself, okay, are you doing this just for this? Or what is your purpose? Like, what is your purpose of this business? And the purpose of the business was to help Black men look better, help Black men on their weddings, their special occasions, help them feel better about themselves so that their performance is more than just regular. Like, you know, when you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you do good. So you put all those combinations together, it starts with your appearance. Your appearance is very important for your confidence. If you don't like how you look, you're not gonna perform to your 100 abilities. So yeah, from there, I've just been working this business for the last couple of years. I've been about 4 years on my own. I say on my own because I feel like I took the training wheels off, and I just been working on people's weddings and special events. And you know, I make bow ties, but that was the beginning of it. It started at that. I thought I was gonna make bow ties for the rest of my life, but then I realized, no, Derek, you have to grow. You have to grow, and in order to grow, you have to be in uncomfortable situations, and you don't know you're gonna grow until you push yourself to go to the next level. So it was like, okay, well, can you make a suit? Can you do this? Can you do that? And I just started saying, yeah, I could do it. And it was times that I didn't know I could do it, but I wasn't gonna tell you I couldn't do it. I was gonna learn how to do it. Because I mean, you know, I taught myself how to sew. I taught myself everything. Like I taught myself how to be a business owner. And I'm not saying that it was a perfect, like, oh, I did everything the right way. I made mistakes. I did a lot of different things that was like trial and error, but I was happy, and I'm happy that I just took that chance. Like, you know, like I'd rather take that chance than sit somewhere for the next 10 years and be like, yeah, I know in 10 years I'm going to retire. No. You know what I could do in 10 years? You know what I could build in 10 years? So that was the vibe that I'm on. And I've been on that vibe. And then when COVID happened, COVID kind of shifted everything around, but it didn't really change for me because I've always been on the groundwork. I've always done the groundwork for my business. I've always been running in. I'm the one that shopped for the fabrics. I'm the one that tell the teller this. I'm the one that do the measurements. I'm the one that run around. I'm the one that go to the red carpet. I do it from low to high. And I love it. It's a mixture. You know what I'm saying? So it keeps me balanced, and it always keeps me remembering this is where you came from. So you got to put this work in. Pretty much, in a nutshell.
Thank you, Derek. No, we appreciate that. And I'm happy about that last bit that you was actually going to ask, you know, what differentiates you from everyone else, because as I know, the quality is there. But as you mentioned, the fact that you're always constantly putting in that work. My experience with every business owner on this meeting is just that they're always very involved and very humble in what they're doing, and it's what has made you all successful. So thanks for sharing your story, Derek.
Absolutely, no problem.
And something else that he mentioned, right? Just the fact of who we are. He said he didn't have much, but he was able to be creative, and that's what makes us and our community so versatile, is the fact that we always had to be creative in different situations, whatever that scenario was. And that's what makes us who we are, is the fact that we can be creative, we can adapt to these situations, right? Dr. Kellen was talking about before COVID happened, he figured out how to adjust. And all of you have done that, and commend you for it, and we have to keep doing that. And that's how we're going to continue to grow. It's being able to make adjustments on the fly. Next up, we have Jamar Ross. Jamar is a good friend of mine. You know, some people, not often do you get to look up to people that are your age, but Jamar was one of those people, as was Justin earlier in this call, and it's no surprise to me that both of them are where they are today, because even from a young age, Jamar was very focused, right? He knew how to have fun, and he knew how to be focused at the same time. So didn't know what he was going to do, but he's on the right track, and he's doing a lot of things now, and he's here to talk to us about one of those things. So thank you, Jamar, for joining us. And while I pull up your screen, just introduce yourself, let the people know a little bit about you. Jamal, we can't hear you. It says you're unmuted, but nothing.
Does he have to maybe click the screen?
Yeah. If on your Zoom, you should be able to test the audio.
Yeah, or he's got to switch. He's got to go into his microphone and in the settings there.
Maybe switch the microphone. I know my computer, for some reason, I have like 3 different microphone options, and I only have one. It sounds like we hear a little something.
Yep.
It sounds low.
Yeah, he's trying to come in. Okay, let him work on that. Let's get Jared to speak a little bit.
All right, well, Jamal, while you work on that, we want Reverend Jared.
Yep.
This is my tech guy who taught me how to allow the video sound to come out for everybody else. So I was struggling with that in the beginning, but I remembered your lesson as well as many other lessons that you taught over the years. But that one came in handy right now. So thanks for joining us.
Hey, I just want to say thank you, Jamal. I've been like you. We all learning this tech thing, so don't worry. I'll just do a little intro for you, make the show look good for you, bro. But listen, Aaron, you typed in the comments. All of you are so inspiring, man. I'm like a kid at the candy store right now. I am so elated, not only for Divine and for Charles, but everyone. Thank you so much. I was not expecting this. Every time you guys put something together, it's something special. It's just something that sparks my heart, and you have my backing 100%. You know, the God I serve, he cannot lie. So whatever God promised you, I want to tell you, every business owner, it will come to pass. Remember, God cannot lie, and that's the truth. And here's another thing. I'm gonna give you one more nugget. Faith. Don't waver with your faith. Don't go left to the right. Just stand still and stay focused, and things will come to pass. And as I say that, I want to say a blessing on everybody's business here. I pray that God will prosper you. I pray that God will give you connections. I pray that God will give you favor, and I pray that you will be a blessing to someone else. I know we have people of other faiths here, but let's make that a community of faith, and let's help one another. And the last 2 things I'm gonna say is I'm gonna sow a seed. I believe our sister Makita Moore stated how she was giving out free interviews. I have a show. I asked Divine. I'm gonna interview everybody here for free. I'm gonna sow 1 year of my time to give each of you 1 week for 15 minutes. Talk about your business. I have a small platform, but I believe it's gonna grow. And I'll even support Divine and Charles on how they want to do it. We'll collaborate, but I just want to help you by giving back. I believe, and I'm done after this, I said 5 things, that there's enough for everybody. We don't have to compete with one another. We don't have to, go behind people's back and be cutthroat and stab people in the back. If you just be true, be loving, be honest, there's enough homes, Monica, to sell. There's enough houses to paint, my brother. Dr. There's enough people to help everywhere. I mean, I see all these talented people. There's more than enough. I see you, Russell, there. I see everybody. My brother with the bow ties. Listen to me. My brother, Paul, who did the youth program. My brother, Townsend. My brother, Justin. Dr. Johnson. There's enough people to educate. Everybody, there is plenty. There is plenty. So at this hour, just stay focused, keep going, and there's enough for everybody. And Charles and Divine, whatever you need, just call me. I certainly will put the word out to help you out. Now in the hands of Charles, so he can introduce our brother Jamal.
So
Divine wants to.
So I just want to kind of piggyback on some of the things that my brother Jared, Elder Lewis was highlighting. And, one of the things that I appreciate about my relationship with Jared, we've been friends since junior high school. We played on the same basketball team in high school. But more importantly, we've gone to the same church since we met. And now, we branched off from our original location and we started our own ministry. and it's been about 20 years. And it's really nice to know that the church down the block that you go to, that you know from experience how pure their hearts are and how important the community is to them. So I'm always honored to be on a Zoom or in the same room with my brother Jared. And I'll say one other thing. We have to be able to adapt to our environment and the things that are going on around us. And, you know, Kellen has done a great job of taking his fitness and physical therapy business online and still being able to, you know, have a voice. And we did the same thing with our ministry through Jared. We were able to be tremendously blessed the last 4 or 5 months to be able to go back into the community, because we were able to still have our services online virtually, and, you know, from a mental wellness standpoint, still be able to do the things that we would normally do if we weren't in these times. You know, you can't sit around and wait for things to happen. If you want something, you really got to push and pursue those desires. So, you know, I'm sitting here and I'm talking less today, and I'm listening, and it's really nice to see. So I appreciate you, Jared.
Keep it up. God bless.
You never talk a lot, Divine.
And I was actually gonna call on Dr. Johnson to figure out how old Devon was. We'll save that for later. But next up, we have my guy Jamar. Jamar, I think you got your audio worked out.
Gotta get him off mute.
How to mute you.
Yep, there it is. My bad. Got it? Yep.
All right.
Can you hear me?
All right, here we go.
Good, you good.
How are you?
All right, thank you, man. I'm doing great, man. I'm blessed. Blessed, definitely, you know. Highly favored, of course. I'm just happy to be alive, breathing, and being able to, you know, do the things that we think are little. You know, walk, breathe, eat, sleep. I'm just happy for those things. You know, as long as I can do those, you know, I can do anything in this world. So, you know, of course, as long as I got God with me too, I can do anything that's, you know, that comes my way. I feel that strongly. So I have to thank Charles for bringing me on to this conference. Me and Charles, like you said, have been good friends for years. I've known Charles since, I believe since I was like 11, maybe before that, truthfully, because I think me and Charles might have played against each other before that. Actually, I'm pretty sure of it, and I believe they blew us out. What's crazy is I played the team, just a backstory about how me and Charles met. I played against the team that blew us out by like maybe 30 points before I ended up joining them. They say if you can't beat them, join them, right? So I ended up joining the same AAU basketball team as Charles when I think I was 11 or 12. And ever since then, me and Charles been rocking, man. Charles, and like I said before, Charles is a good friend of mine because of the fact that I know his work ethic. I know the kind of person he is. This guy is a workhorse. He was a workhorse on the court, and I know for sure that trickled off the court as well. So I got, you know, I got nothing but good words to say about Charles, man. It's a very, very good guy right there. And once again, I'm very thankful to be on this conference call with all you guys. The past few people that I've heard since I've joined the call have had some amazing stories, some really good contact, and I'm just humbly blessed to just be a part of this whole conference. So just to introduce myself, my name is Jamal Ross. I am a 28-year-old budding entrepreneur. I like to say budding because I'm still in the learning process of the businesses that I'm working on right now. I'm still very fresh into the game. I'm learning a lot as I go about the day on, you know, the different procedures and structures and just how to run a business effectively. But I started with a business straight out of college where I was trying to help students buy and sell textbooks amongst each other on their college campuses on a network platform, which was called Techchange Books. I founded that in 2016. Yeah, I graduated in 2016 from SUNY Westbury. So I started that in 2016. and I started the business on my alma mater. And I had a great run with TechChange. We ended up exchanging textbooks amongst 3 schools: SUNY Westbury, BMCC, and Hunter College. I pretty much had my alma mater, coming to us first when it comes to buying and selling textbooks, because a lot of people had issues with buying textbooks that were worth hundreds of dollars and only using them for half the semester, or only using them once a week. And people felt like a lot of students felt like they were wasting money on spending, so much money on the books where they could have spent it on other valuable things. And of course, as a college student, we don't have much money. So I just figured one day, it just came to my mind, this idea in my dorm room, when I was looking for a book that I, in fact, couldn't afford. I couldn't afford I believe it was a pre-algebra, what was it? It was definitely a math book. I just don't remember what kind of math, but it was a math book that I couldn't afford. And I'm literally calling all my friends on the campus, asking somebody yo, do you have this book? Do you have this book? Do you have this book? And I said, man, what if there was some type of business or some type of platform where you can go onto this platform and you can find a book literally from a student that you don't know personally that might literally live right next door to you. So that's when I thought of this idea in 2016, and I started to move forward with it. Now, I'm not really a huge technological guy, so this was something that was going to be considered a tech startup. So I had a lot to learn, but I knew one thing for sure, 2 things for certain. I knew how to hustle. I've been a hustler my whole life, from just selling candy bars in middle school, literally buying Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I'm playing my friends and my classmates in games for rare Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I'm beating them, and then I'm either selling it back to them or I'm selling it to other students. I've been a hustler my whole life, selling Gatorades and waters at high school events when I was in high school in Amherst, Massachusetts, for a scholastic program that I was in. I'm originally from, I didn't even really introduce myself fully. I'm originally from Queens, New York, born and raised in Queens, grew up in Queens, and I ended up going to high school in Massachusetts on a scholastic program that provides, I don't know if anybody's heard this, but it's called the Better Chance Program. Basically a program that provides students that are in I'm not gonna say underdeveloped, but basically in communities that might have poverty-driven communities. They bring the students out to different schools in suburban areas, and free of charge. We get free tuition and board. So I was a part of that program for 4 years of my life in Amherst, Massachusetts. And like I said, I didn't have money. Even though I was getting school and board for free, we weren't getting, a huge allowance. I was getting $10 a week to survive. So I had to figure out ways to make that stretch. So I was selling anything that I could get my hands on. I found a phone one time and sold it on eBay when I was 15 years old. I just always had this mindset of flipping things and just being an entrepreneur and really getting the ability to crunch numbers really quickly and understand the idea of margins and profits at a very young age. So with that being said, I ended up not really knowing what I wanted to do. I just knew that I just wanted to play basketball my whole life. I just wanted to be a basketball head. As Charles will know, we all had those dreams when we was growing up. We just wanted to be a basketball head. I went through college playing college ball, ended up getting injured my freshman year after playing college. Didn't know what to do with myself. I said, okay, now I guess I just got to just deal with the education part, of life. And I went through the education stage, ended up getting my degree at SUNY Westbury. And then that's when I started to move forward with TechChange Books. And TechChange Books was, like I said, we were getting more traffic than the school bookstore, honestly speaking. I just didn't have the ability or the resources to scale it to move forward, because what I was trying to do or what I had structured in my head was so big that I didn't have the resources or or the money, to be honest, to be able to move forward with what I was trying to do. So I had to put Techchange Books on the hold. But then, you know, as an entrepreneur, like I said, my brain is constantly moving and trying to figure out how can I make another flip, I guess you could say, legally, of course. So I happened to stumble across body oils. And how I did was my mother had came home with this body oil fragrance. I remember it was the first fragrance that I smelled was Dior Sauvage. And it was in a body oil form. And Dior Sauvage is pretty popular in the cologne form. And my mother gave me this cologne and she told me that she found a supplier for body oils for designer inspired fragrances. And when she brought it to me, it smelled, I had already had Dior Sauvage as the cologne. And when she brought it to me, it smelled exactly like the cologne. So I figured, how is this possible? What are they doing to make this body oil compared to the cologne? So I started to do research into it, and come to find out, I found a lot of information about colognes and perfumes and the secret behind it. A lot of the resources that these cologne and perfume fragrances use are very cheap. I'm not gonna say cheap, but they're very inexpensive, and you're paying a very extreme amount. I'm just gonna say for colognes and perfumes. Let's just be clear: the body oil form is a more potent form of colognes and perfumes. Colognes and perfumes are watered down versions of the body oils because we add water to them and we add alcohol to the colognes and perfumes in order to turn them into a spray. So it's a watered down form. And when I found the supplier that provides the body oils, I just found out, whoa, I knew I had something big. I said, whoa, this is basically, and I'm just gonna put it into drug terms because this is how I see it in my head. This is basically the cocaine form of the crack that colognes and perfumes are serving. Right? That's basically what it is. The colognes and the perfumes are the crack, and the body oil forms are the body oil forms are the coke. And it's crazy that the crack is being sold at more exponential prices than the coke. Because us growing up as African Americans in impoverished communities, we already know which is really worth more. We know that the coke was going at higher prices than the crack, right? So I started to understand. Oh yeah, for sure. I started to understand, wait, we got something serious here. I'm getting the coke for a lot cheaper than what the crack goes for. So I realized that I had something here. And that was the birth of Smooth Sense New York City. Smooth Sense New York City is a beauty supply marketplace where I'm trying to not just expose the organic and natural supplies for hair and skincare, for not just African Americans, for everybody. I'm trying to create a platform where I can help people of all shades, textures, find the necessary products that they need that are natural and organic, stuff that are not going to hurt their body or their skin in the long run, but something that's going to nourish them. And that was the birth of it. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but these are the body oils. I have the body oils on hand right now. And I started off with just selling body oils. And I sell these body oils now I sell them at $10 a piece, but I started selling them at $5. So that right there tells you how inexpensive it costs to create cologne and perfume, right there. If I'm selling these for $5 to $10, that should tell you how much, how inexpensive it costs. It's ridiculous. And I started selling the body oils, the designer body oils, the designer inspired body oils in 2019, which was last year, and they were a hit. I did the relevant research, of course, to figure out if there was a demographic for it, to figure out exactly who I should target. And once I did that, and what platform I should use. And once I did that, I took maybe like 2 or 3 months to do that. I did some time testing it out, giving it out to friends, coworkers, family for free, just to see what it would be like, just the response that I can get from people. And people were eating it up. everybody was like, man, this is crazy. Like, you got this for this price? I can't imagine spending my money anywhere else but coming to you now. Because anybody that knows, if you know the fragrance or the cologne Creed, we all know that Creed is a very expensive cologne. Their cologne ranges from about $200 to $1,000, depending on the type of cologne. And I can provide it to you for the same smell, the same effect for $10. So once I was able to provide that, you know, and make people aware of it, people were eating it up. So like I said, once I got the response from the customers, I started to realize I had something special here. And then it grew into a beauty supply store, because I found out that my supplier sold more than just body oils. My supplier also sells organic soap. So I have an organic coconut oil soap right here, where it's literally nothing but all natural ingredients in this soap. And it's been proven to help with acne. It's been proven to help with skin toning, keeping your skin the same color throughout your body, because we know a lot of people may have some problems with, you know, having one part of their body a different tone than the other. So it helps with skin toning and it helps with acne, and it smells amazing. We have a hair pomade, which is good for waves. I don't know if you can see mine right now, but I have a hair pomade right now that's good for waving. It's good for.
Once we conclude this whole Zoom, we're going to be sending out everybody's contact information, as well as your website and everybody's website, so everybody can access you know, your website, see everything that you have, and we recommend that that everybody reaches out to somebody else, obviously, to learn more about the business. Jamar, as I said before, and as we can tell, like how it's interesting when you get to hear people talk, right? We get to actually see like the way your mind works, and it's why I have always admired you, because you just have that nonstop energy. You're always on to the next thing. You're looking to always push forward, and that's what has made you successful. Something important that you said early on is acknowledging the fact that you're learning in certain areas, and there's nothing wrong with that. And that's why we do things like this, so we can all connect with each other, share our experiences, and hopefully grow off of each other. So Jamal, we appreciate you sharing with us. Like I said, we're going to send out everybody's contact information. For those of you that are on the YouTube live stream and may have been tuning in late, everything is going out about each speaker, just so you have the opportunity to learn more and reach out to them to inquire more about their business and, you know, increase that support. So thank you, Jamal. Thank you for sharing. So next up, we have Russell. Bridging the Gap. Russell, is he here?
Yeah, he's there. Yeah, he's off mute.
How you doing, Russell? Oh, right in front of me, right next to me. Russell, my man, the first time I met Russell was on Zoom call in our guy study group, and this man's energy was amazing. He was looking forward to just working with and helping everybody that was on that Zoom call. Has tremendous, you know, energy, just for the lack of a better word. He's always looking to see how he can benefit the community, and I think honestly the company name itself, Bridging the Gap, you know, speaks volume.
So I'll chime in on this introduction, because Russell actually is my younger brother, and I have ordered.
Divine's very old, right, Dr. Johnson?
I have ordered T-shirts. I've ordered masks from my brother. I've gone on to his website, and I see that he has also started a nonprofit organization as well. So, you know, so we're here and we're promoting Black business. So you know that I'm going to promote my own brother's business. So, so Russell, we'll let you go ahead and speak about, you know, your heart's desires.
All right. First of all, I just want to say, it's a pleasure. Y'all creating this platform. Bridging the Gaps is a platform also, and I'm actually getting information how I can make, that platform better. At the end of at the beginning of the day, it really starts with our mother and seeing what she was able to go through and how she was able to have a certain type of perseverance and not using excuses. And I realized, because the doctors only gave her X amount of years for her to live, that she got contacted with a disease. And I realized by her helping people put more years on her life. So as I'm going through life, of course, a lot of us on here play basketball. We thought we were going to be NBA stars or whatever. So when that didn't happen, I struggled vitally. And I think it was more because I thought people really loved me, but they really loved my gift. So that was the first thing really accepted. So yeah, I got 2 degrees. I tried the career thing. I really did. I tried the career thing. Take a state test. I always did good on them or whatever the case was. I never got an interview. No criminal background record or anything. But I think that was just something from God that he wanted me to do my own thing. So what I did was I just started working at factory jobs. Because factory jobs, it wasn't too much pressure. I could just do that and I continue to work on what I was doing, what I really wanted to do. So when I realized that it was a lot of division in the world, and that's when Bridging the Gaps came into play. And it was just one of those things where I felt like I had to do something. And I was like, I'm all about the groundwork. You know what I mean? I'm the type person, I'm not waiting on anybody. You know what I mean? I believe in no middleman. I'm not gonna pay somebody for something I could do. And I think now it's even more important, even with our organization right now, is to let people know, listen, because a lot of people, they want to do better, but telling them is not enough. It's about showing them. So how I stumbled, because I did stumble on this business with the t-shirts. I stumbled on it because when I was creating my non-organization, one of the criteria in it was fundraising. Now, I'm not the type of person to ask people for anything or whatever the case is. So I was like, I'm gonna create my own fundraiser. It is what it is. I'm gonna create my own fundraiser. So when COVID-19 hit, like I said, I've always been about the groundwork. So when COVID-19 hit, my mind just got so creative because I realized people were stuck. And I'm like, if you're going to do anything, it's right now. So I was looking at the t-shirt thing just as, advertisement. Then I actually started getting better in the craft. And I never wanted to look at it as business because I wanted to be able to separate my organization and my business, but they all go hand in hand. You just need to know which one you need to do at what time. So I just started working on my craft, and this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. I'm doing YouTube videos now. I bought a whole studio set up. I'm gonna do my own audio. I'm gonna teach my son how to do beats and all that so he could get involved and he could create his own passion. Of course, I want to play basketball, but if that's not the case, at least he has his own thing. And I just want to say this. When it comes to Black business, I believe it's about the quality. I don't want people to support me because I have a Black business. I want people to support me because I have the quality. Being that it's a Black business, it's the bonus. And just being on here and seeing everybody and seeing different perspectives, this is exactly what Bridging the Gaps is all about. Bringing different perspectives together for one common goal. But I ain't gonna keep you out too long because I'm more of a private person. I don't really got much to say. Devon's my spokesman, really. He is my spokesman.
There you go. I was about to jump on and say, yo, get out of here, yo. You're taking up too much time.
My bad. Listen, how long I was?
Listen,
I'm done.
Listen.
That was great, Russell. Not to cut you off, Mom, but just like you said, right? So about quality, and I think that's the huge thing here. Everybody that's here that is speaking, it's because they're actually doing something that is of quality, and that is obviously just as important, more so than being a Black business, right? Being a Black business is very important, but we have to yield results in whatever our industries are. And everybody that's on here, we're confident in the things that they're doing, and that's why we all have you here. So just to piggyback off that comment, everybody here is providing quality in some form or fashion.
So thanks, bro. I appreciate you.
You already know.
Speaking of, next up we have last group, and I just want to, for everybody tuning in, we're nearing our end. We are going to be cutting off at 3 o'clock, so just hang with us a few more minutes. Our last speaker before Divine and I close is Andrew Moore. How you doing, Andrew?
How you doing? Good afternoon, everyone. Definitely want to say thank you guys for having me an opportunity to be able to speak today. And everyone that spoke before me, definitely, you guys are definitely inspiring. And I just want to be able to keep it short and sweet because I'm actually out here in Maryland celebrating my mom's birthday. So I'm just going to try to enjoy as much as I can before we,
Happy birthday to your mom.
To your mom, we say happy birthday.
Thank you.
Drew. Real quick, Drew, I just want to let me tell my Drew story because I think that kind of tells everything. So my mom passed away in 2011, and Drew and I, we had worked together for about 3 years at Dowling College, and we actually became brothers, in that time. And so I'm down in Maryland, and we're at the wake, and Drew comes walking in, and so Drew, every time I introduce you to someone, because people don't understand how simple life is for me.
Mm-hmm.
You come from New York to Maryland to pay your respects to me and my family, like that was special, man. It really was. So
it was an honor, man. It wasn't even a second thought to do that. You know what I mean? It was just the time of need, and I've been in that place before. So my father passed, and it's just you just know what it needs to be done for someone, especially someone you care about. So don't worry about it. I'm always here for you.
Good.
It was
good to know.
So I'm gonna just keep it short and sweet. I'm a licensed real estate agent out here in New York. I specialize in residential sales, residential rentals, lending and financing throughout the entire Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, and Suffolk and Nassau counties. I'm with Avenue Sotheby's International Realty. Everyone knows the Sotheby's franchise. And when you hear Sotheby's, you think about the auction house, but they do have a very, very high-end luxury boutique realty firm. Well, we specialize in all tiers, but they technically usually lean towards more of the luxury side. But needless to say, my main focus was to, when I started this back out 8 years ago, was to be able to see more of our own, to be able to purchase homes. And what I realized was going out there every single day, we didn't see too many of, any Black and brown individuals even purchasing homes. Like 99.9% of my clients for the first 8 years have been Caucasian or white or some other descent or culture. And I was finding it very strange. Like, so where's everyone living? So what I started doing was we started to partner with certain banks who I know be able to help out with financing and be able to help, create this opportunity for first-time home buyers. And ever since then, and even until today, people think, 2020 has been such a bad year. It's actually been a very blessed year, honestly, because I've helped close to over 30 families to be able to purchase a home this year. And I recommend everyone is interested in purchasing. This is the perfect time to do it now, just because of how low interest rates are. And this is something that we probably would never see probably another 10 to 15 or 20 years. So take full advantage of this opportunity and then jump into it. There's homes throughout the entire country. Everything's going digital nowadays. So, New York, you come out here in the city, all you see is moving vans because it literally is like a mass exit from Manhattan in certain areas. Brooklyn is pretty strong, just because it's, just Brooklyn, nothing really else like it out there. But you definitely see a huge exit of people leaving the city because they want space. And this pandemic has woke up a lot of people to realizing what matters most. And space and be able to breathe fresh air and not being on top of everyone was like the number one thing over the last 5 months since the pandemic hit. So I'm gonna keep it short. You guys want to close out by 3, give you guys some additional time. But if you do need any assistance with financing, first-time home buyer programs, if you need anything as far as like market analysis or home evaluations, I'm here to be able to help and assist. My contact information I'll be able to share with you guys. I'll give it to Divine or Charles to be able to share with everyone. And it's been a pleasure. I'm hoping to look forward to more calls like this, to be a part of.
Thank you, Drew. Drew, very genuine guy. Something you just can't fake. So appreciate you coming out. Next up, man of the hour, Divine. Gotta be careful with some things I say. This man's head might not fit on the Zoom call, but no, Divine has orchestrated and put all this together. And before he speaks, I just want to say that, right, so I played for Divine in college, and ever since then, including that time, even up to this day, this man always has my best interest in mind, and I know that's the case for everybody that he comes in contact with. Is he's always looking, to what he can do for you. There's nothing that comes out of his mouth that's not genuine. Everything he says is in your best interest. So, just having that around me all the time has continued to push me to be even better, to do the things that I want to do and help those around me. So I appreciate you, Divine. Thanks for putting all this together. And the floor is yours.
Yeah, right now, I just forgot how to open this back up. Okay, good. All right, so you're gonna keep your.
Yeah.
All right, good. All right, so first I'd like to thank everyone for coming on and participating in this event. So I think that there's something to be said for finding ways to build our communities together where we invest back into the community. If you invest back into the community will grow. So having 27 participants on here today and having so many strong-minded young Black entrepreneurs and business owners to highlight their specialty. It only takes one person on here to recognize that there's a service being provided that can be utilized by you. So if, we highlighted a stat earlier, and the stat was in the Asian community, the dollar is in the community for 28 days. In the Jewish community, it's about 20 days. I believe in the white community, it's about 17 days. In the Black community, it's 1 day, So I had one of my former players I was speaking with, he mentioned to me that during days of segregation, we actually spent money in our own community because we weren't allowed to spend money in some of these other communities, or if we did, we would denigrate it, and we had to go to a back door to get a meal. The only thing that happened was Martin Luther King said enough is enough, and we boycotted some of these other entities that we were spending money in that weren't giving us the proper respect that we deserved as human beings. And because of the boycott, all of a sudden, because the government's losing money, now they want to talk about allowing us to sit anywhere on the bus. And it was only because of the dollar. It had nothing to do with them respecting us. So, segregation actually wasn't a bad thing for us because we spent more money in our own communities during that time. So the community grows and improves and gets better by us investing our time, our money, and our energy in our community, because then we have more positive results. So that's why we do what we do. So this is not just, okay, Charles and I decided that on August 22nd, we're going to put together a panel of business owners and we're going to highlight business owners. No, this is our mission. This is what we do. It's about the community. If you look here as I shared this screen, and those are my beautiful children in the background there. Where am I at? You see, my website is Diverse Skill Training. And the reason why I came up with that name was because it wasn't just about basketball. I said to myself, your fundamentals are your fundamentals. We choose different avenues to go down to get to an end goal. Mine's happened to be basketball. And what happened for me was, in addition with my mom, my grandfather, my siblings, my friends, basketball helped to instill self-confidence in me that I didn't have before I started playing basketball. And it was a way for me to get out of my own way of not knowing or thinking that I could be more than what my father was. And so it's brought me so many blessings to my life. I mean, a lot of the people on this call I've met through basketball. And I said to myself when I was done playing, I said, well, there's going to be another young man like myself out there who could use someone like me who understands the power of athletics, the power of basketball, and how that can facilitate, you know, a relationship of love, trust, and respect, and hopefully push someone and motivate them to be the best version of themselves. So basketball was the avenue, but honestly, I do the same thing with my friends or with my family or in my church. Like, I believe if you have strong fundamentals, no matter which walk of life you come through, that you're going to reap the benefits of that. So, you know, so between us having the People in Your Life event where we had different business owners, we had different professionals come on and give some education on their profession to give us more knowledge and understanding, or our study group of men who are all professional, who are all entrepreneurs, who are all positive thinkers. The fact that we've started a live stream, which we do weekly, which can be viewed through my website at Diverse Skill Training. If you look at my tabs up at the top in the far right corner, there's a live button there, and that link just brings you right into my YouTube channel. Or you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Diverse Skill Training on YouTube, and be a part of those events as they come up. But so we're literally live streaming every single Thursday. Kellen, Dr. Johnson, Dr. Scantlebury, which is Kellen, and myself, and it's engaging content where we talk about our perspective as Black men in a white society through our own lens, not the lens that they want to project on our community, but the actual lens of the men and women in our community. And so what we ask is that you subscribe to the YouTube channel. What we ask is that you call 5 people and you say, these young men who are volunteering their time care truly about the community and help us to broaden the message that we're trying to convey to everyone. And lastly, I want to mention a couple of other businesses that were not able to get on our event today. A brother of mine, so I'm going to unshare my screen. Charles, can you share Kyle's information? So a brother of mine who his mom was my school, one of my teachers in high school, who I've had a great relationship with. He buys homes, he flips them, and he sells them back to the people in the community at a fair price so that they can have affordable living. And he does it mostly in the Wyandanch area. And like, I was on the phone with him today. He was really busy today. He had a couple of prospects coming in to look at a property that he was selling. So he's in the midst of doing that right now. But I really wanted to be able to speak a little bit about his initiative and what he's doing, because I think that it's great, because, you know, Dr. Johnson speaks about equity. Well, buying property, buying land, that's equity. So that's something that we own. It's ours. It cannot be taken. It cannot be taken from us. So, you know, I really want to highlight this young man for his ability to realize that he can make money and make a difference at the same time. So I want to say that about him. His information will be on our list of business owners, our directory that we will send out to everyone who was on this Zoom call at one point or another. I want to also highlight a company called Anytime, Anywhere Freight and Moving Service. They do commercial, residential, local, long distance. The owner's name is Mark Graham. His information will always also be on that directory. And then one other business owner, her name is Darlene Berry. She has a company called Balloon Boutique PA. So once again, they couldn't be on to speak about their business, but I wanted to also shine a light on their organizations and their business, and hopefully we can all be a blessing to one another. So I know it's Saturday. I know that, we have, a life and things that we're going to do today. Hopefully I'm going to watch the Lakers beat Portland tonight. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this event. And I want to, say thank you to Charles, who literally whatever I need, even though I know sometimes I'm being very annoying to him, he's always there for me to provide that service. I know my brother had called me a couple times and he was like, man, your emails are so good and you guys are doing such a great job and you're on top of things. I was like, not without my team. So without Dr. Johnson, without Dr. Scantlebury, without Charles McCann, without my brother, it's tough to do these things by yourself. It literally really takes a village for us to strive and get ahead. I even on the phone with Danette the other day, and Danette and I, we met at a networking event last year. She was getting an award for being a stellar business owner in the community. So, I called Danette and I went into her salon and we sat and we talked about, our personal lives and our children and the things that we love. And you know what, we're two different people, but we both have the same aspirations about our expectation of ourselves and our families and our community. And when I spoke to her the other day, just about the website and about the live stream, her comments, I listened to what she was saying to me about our content and the things that we're doing and how beneficial those things are and how professional they are. And, that made me feel good to know that we are like truly doing this, the right way. So like those words of encouragement, they mean a lot. So it's as simple as that, just being able to encourage each other to continue to push forward and push through adversity. So enjoy your Saturday. I thank you for your time. I'm gonna let Charles close out.
Yeah, I like to, for one, right, so when we send out that directory, if anybody prefers that, hey, we make an introduction for you to somebody that you want to work from, all of their business, we'll be happy to do. Lastly, I like to end things off with action items to say. So with all the initiatives, right, that Divine has going, I want to challenge everybody, something similar in their own right. I've learned that we all should be mentors and also seek mentorship. And an added level to that I've learned most recently.
Yeah, let's clean it up.
Was that through the show you have on Thursdays from Williams,
the perspective.
She added a good point, something that I thought about but just never put a word to it, and it was sponsorship, right? Not hey, I'm going to pay for somebody to do something, but sponsorship being that we take responsibility and put each other in rooms that we normally wouldn't be in without each other's help, right? So Divine has done a great job being a sponsor for me. He has put me in positions that I maybe would have not been without somebody speaking on my behalf. So I thank Divine for that. I challenge everybody, like I said, to be a mentor and a sponsor to somebody else if they can. So thank you all. Enjoy your Saturday. We appreciate you and wishing the best for everybody in this call.
Have a good day, guys. Thank you.